Melinda here with Get Off My Lawn, Please. Today is going to be read from Mike's book, Victim, the first chapter only. Stay tuned. Hi, Melinda here with Get Off My Lawn, Please. Today we're going to read the first chapter only of Mike Sims' novel, Victim. Mike has given me permission. He's my husband, so I have no copyright issues. This is the first novel that he wrote. This is the one the publisher liked because it was controversial. And if you want to, the books are sold on Amazon. And I'm going to put our website up there, so you can check it out there. There's more information. And if you read his books and you have a question, comment below. He'll answer. He appreciates his fans. We're very grateful. But please subscribe to my channel, like my channel, share my videos, like my videos, comment below, and click the notification bell. It's free. All right, let's get started. Victim. And you'll understand the title once we start reading. Victim by Mike Sims. And the acknowledgments. Thank you, Nicole Andani, for your wisdom and support in making this book a reality. Thank you to everyone who gave their expertise and insight to help make the story. Okay, first chapter is called The Beginning Encounter. Sometimes what looks like bad people is only good people in bad situations. So what can we say about Vicki Newsom, an advertising executive who is single except for her two cats, Stone and Jones? She named them after one of her first sales ads on a show by the same name. She leaves work as she does most days, not traveling to clients or researching for her job. She plans to make it a quiet evening of watching reruns and wondering what ad could have been put in that show long ago. She makes her way out of her office building and hikes down the street to a local corner grocery store to pick up a few things. It is a snack night and her night to jump off the diet, if only for a bit. She makes her way back to her car to put her items in the trunk and decides to drop in the bookstore across the street to see what is new. She tends to get lost in these bookstores. So much to discover. She wanders down the aisles of self-help books, to cooking and to romance novels. A book catches her eye titled Short Stories Not from a Real Writer. The simple book title draws her attention as she picks it up. She is a little aware that someone else has taken notice of her. A mysterious and unseemingly suspicious-looking man begins to watch her from the corners and small openings in bookshelves. She looks around as if something beckons her to pay attention to her surroundings, but she continues happily looking around. She picks up a few more books and leaves as it's getting late. The man follows and gets in his car to continue the pursuit. Vicki arrives at her house in the suburbs remotely, opening her garage door as the man passes by, turning around the corner. She made a small mental note of him passing. He must live around here. That's why the car seemed to go wherever she went when coming home. She leaves the garage door open as she carries her goods into the house. The man sees she is inside and sneaks his way into her garage and hides behind a cabinet so she will not notice him. She grabs her final things and closes the trunk of the car as the garage door lowers. As it closes, her security light automatically comes on outside when dark. The man watches as the light extinguishes from the garage door enclosure. He waits patiently for a long time so that her guard will be down. He listens for the TV in her house to eventually go off. He knows the longer he waits, the more neighbors will go too. Thoughts race through his mind of doubts about what he wants to do. However, the urge is strong and the adrenaline is pumping in his anxious state. It is like a drug, for this is something he has fantasized numerous times in his head. But his emotions have convinced him to make the fantasy real. He is scared yet excited and knows there is no going back after this. It runs through his mind like a car in a circle with no place to park as he keeps hearing her shuffle around the house. Finally, it is quiet as he hears her walking up the stairs. He makes his move to the door of the garage into the house. Noticing it is unlocked, Vicki is showering and preparing for bed. The man has made his way up the stairs and takes position in an adjacent room, waiting for the right moment for him to surprise his victim. Vicki dries off after a short shower and changes into a long t-shirt. The man's heart begins to beat faster as the moment has come. He has not done this before, but he has rehearsed it many times in his head. He is no killer, but pulls his steak knife out that he acquired from her kitchen for intimidation. She is sitting on her bed reading now. He thinks to himself, okay, Tim, this is it. He begins to have second thoughts about his life and why he is doing this, but the obsession to control another human being is too much of a high for him. Chemical responses in his brain from the excitement are like a drug, and he begins to feel powerful. He summons his courage and bursts out, quickly overtaking Vicky and putting the knife to her throat. He covers her mouth immediately and tells her not to make a sound. She stares intently at him and down at the knife. Tim tells her to comply with his wishes and she won't get hurt. He then tells her that he's going to take his hand off of her and she must take her clothes off. He asks her if she understands, and she slowly nods yes. He releases her and she slowly stands up to lift her shirt off. She then looks behind Tim and says, "Thank God you're here." Tim quickly turns to see who is behind him, and there is no one there. Turning back quickly, he is kicked in the chest hard by Vicky, knocking him against the clothes drawers. By this time, she had grabbed his hand with the knife and turned his wrist, forcing him to drop the knife on the floor. He panics and begins to try to make a break for it as he labors to breathe from her kick. However, she is too quick for him and pushes him against the wall in the corner. He falls back, stunned. By the time he gets up, she has a short wooden stick about 3 feet long and cracks him across the back as he makes it for the stairs. He tumbles, hitting the wall at the bottom. Looking up in horror, she is running down the stairs with a look of fury on her face. He runs to the fireplace and picks up a poker to defend himself, but she has already deflected his thrust and hits him in the arm with the stick, causing him to drop the poker. He is badly hurt, and she cracks him again across the temple of his head. He is dazed and slowly gets up, seeing everything fuzzy. She is standing there, hardly out of breath, and staring at him like a lion about to finish his kill. He pleads with her to do no more, and he will gladly go to jail. Like out of a martial art movie, she spins around and lands her foot across his sternum, knocking him backward again on the ground. His speech is slurred as he quietly begs, "No more, no more," then blacks out. Tim wakes up and he's sitting in a chair. As he looks around, and Vicky's sitting in the chair in front of him smoking an e-cigarette. His eyes grow large, wondering what is next. He pleads with her to let him go, and he has learned his lesson. Vicky says, "You know, I was a rape victim before when I was a teenager. It nearly destroyed me. I felt suicidal because I thought there was something wrong with me. I had a hard time with relationships with men as I grew up. I went to a lot of therapy, and it cost a lot, not just in terms of money, but life. All because a man wanted to have sex with someone other than his own wife. I understand more than you think about how men tick. Some are weak and have very little control like you. So, since the time of my attack long ago, I have earned 3 black belts and work out regularly because I know that it could happen again. I trained and prepared for this day that someone like you would attack me. I know you perverts are not diminishing in numbers, you are growing. Now, you have the internet and easy access to porn and other shock images to tantalize you. But what happens when that is enough? You guys have to carry it further into the real world. It is like a line that you cross and the line moves further. Blame it on hormones or bad childhood, but the fact is, you types have no restraint. You travel further into the depths of depravity, rationalizing that is normal and okay. Before you know, it won't be just rape, but murder to get your feelings nurtured. Well, I'm going to teach you about being violated. I'm going to show you what it's like to have your life ruined. You're going to know what it is to be a victim, Timothy. I have copied your driver's license. I know all about you now. Amazing. The same internet that feeds you manniness can also give me all the information about you that I could possibly want. This will be therapeutic for both of us. Well, more for me. And I know there's nothing you can do, because if you try to get me in trouble, your fingerprints, even DNA from your ass whooping, is all over my place, especially the knife you threatened me with. So go now, and let us begin this learning experience for you. Go ahead. I said go. He stares in horror that he is trapped in a nightmare he can never leave. She has him, and he knows. His only chance is to comply, and maybe she will leave him alone. Tim gathers up all the strength he can and carries himself out of her house as she stares at him. He looks back and says, "I'm sorry." Vicky says, "Well, I'm sorry too, Tim. See you around." Tim gulps as he leaves. He walks very slowly and staggers back to his car. He leaves for home. Okay, that's the end of the first chapter of Victim. This is the first book Mike wrote. And as you can see, victim is a play on words of Vicky and Tim. And it leads to the question of, who exactly is the victim in this book? Inquiring minds want to know. So again, it's available at Amazon and www.mazaroff.net. I'll put the address in. But as again, this was the first one, and because it was so controversial, everybody that read it actually asked him, well, how did she get this way? So that's what led up to the other books. And, we read Vicky, which was the first one. So you kind of understand what's going on in this book. And Mike is working on more. There's one between Valkyrie, which we read last week, and this one. It's called Violet. It has to be edited yet. And that's just going to take some time. But we'll try and get it up as soon as possible so that we can get it. But, I hope you enjoyed this. Please read the book. This one is very interesting. They all are. I mean, I've grown quite fond of Vicky. And the interesting thing about this book is even though Tim is a pervert, you kind of grow to like him too, which is weird. Anyway, appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching my videos. Please spread love and kindness wherever you go. Mike and I appreciate all your, kind attention to his books. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.